Some big developing Sixers news we got to get to here on today's 76ers Now, as Joel Embiid is back at practice with no brace on his surgically repaired left knee. Plus, Kelly Oubre has been the subject of a bunch of trade rumors over these past couple of weeks, and seems like he's had enough because he clapped back at 76ers fans on social media. Gonna get to both of those topics here today. Appreciate you all tuning in to today's 76ers Now. Before we get into today's news, I encourage you to hit that sub button. It is a completely and 100% free way to stay up to date with everything going on with your Philadelphia 76ers. We are 297 people away from 24K. Hit that sub button, join us, and stay up to date on everything going on with your 76ers. So let's get started with this huge Joel Embiid news, because the Sixers this morning on this Wednesday, September 10th, posted some clips, photos, videos from their early practice, and we can see in a few of these, notably, Joel Embiid back at practice, looking, a little bit slim, but we've seen this before. Joel Embiid lost weight, this and that, but, looks pretty good in this photo. The one that had everybody, though, really freaking out today was this clip that I grabbed a screenshot of from a video the Sixers posted on their Twitter. As you can see, it is Joel Embiid practicing, getting some shots up, not, moving crazy, but little pull-up mid-range jumper here, his staple shot, if you will. And what do you notice? No brace on that surgically repaired left knee, and the legs looking pretty slim as a whole, looking pretty slim. That is huge, because remember last year when he was playing, huge brace on that knee. So to see him at this point in the offseason with no brace, that is a great sign. And I saw some people on Twitter trying to say, oh, this is an old clip, don't fall for it, Sixers, it's propaganda, he's still not healthy. If you zoom in a little bit to this picture, which I'll show you here, it's a little bit tough to see, but it's undeniable. Sitting behind Joel Embiid in the background, that is Janai Broome. You can tell, one, because it looks like him right in the face, the beard, but also the tattoo on his leg. You can see there, that is Janai Broome's tattoo. So we know this is Janai Broome in the background, meaning this is obviously a clip from now, being that he is a rookie and he was just drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers. And look, I'll say this. If Joel Embiid is truly healthy, with the clips we've seen recently of him back at practice with no brace on that surgically repaired left knee, everything changes for the Philadelphia 76ers. A lot of people are counting the Sixers out already, and fairly so, given what happened last year and the fact that they are led by two injury-prone players in Joel Embiid, in Paul George. But look, if Embiid actually is healthy and he's 100% ready to go and stays healthy for the duration of the season, which is a big ask, it's not too long ago that we saw Embiid as the best player in the NBA, winning MVP and carrying this team to wins, averaging well over 30 points per game. So if he is ready to go, man, this Sixers team, things could change very fast, and the vibes could change very, very fast. Of course, he has to go out there and prove he can play a majority of an 82-game season, but the fact he's out there at practice right now, no brace on that knee, it's got me a little bit excited for the start of this upcoming season. Now, we do have to see, of course, this is just one clip and one photo, one video from a practice session. We've seen things before. We get our hopes up. We get excited for the season, and then everything all comes crashing down. That's how it goes here as a 76ers fan. So I don't want to overreact too much and say that he is ready to go when he's going to be 100% to start the season. I'm not going to go that far. We'll see what happens when training camp starts here in a couple of weeks. They're kind of just getting some practices in as teams allow players back in the practice facilities. But 2 weeks out from the start of training camp and just under a month to go until preseason action. Doubt Embiid plays in preseason regardless of his health or not, but we'll see if he is back on the court for the start of training camp. Some other interesting things we saw from this post the Sixers made this morning. Paul George does remain out. He is not practicing and doing full on-court basketball activities yet. Of course, he had that arthroscopic knee surgery back in July as a cleanup procedure, so to speak. Been almost 2 months now, I believe, since that surgery, but he was pictured here working out in the Sixers facility, lifting some weights. So, good to see him at least back in the swing of things, getting back into, the NBA workout regimen, but we do want to see him actually back out there playing basketball on the floor. Of course, another big part of this team that you're paying a ton of money to be a really good player. We also saw a picture of Jared McCain. If you can't tell if this is McCain or not, you can see the paint and nails if you look there closely. No one else is doing that but Jared McCain, right? And, he's been on the floor before. We've heard his recovery from the meniscus surgery back last year was going pretty well. So no video of McCain the Sixers posted, but we do get this photo, him shooting the basketball. We'll also see again in a couple weeks if he will be out there and how much he'll be doing for the start of training camp. He said, he feels pretty good and like he should be 100% by the start of the year. So fingers crossed again that he too is healthy and good to go for the start of the regular season. And then we get to VJ Edgecombe as well. Very excited to see what he can do in his rookie season for Philadelphia. We got to look at him in the practice jersey, hitting the court, and there was a video of him at least skying through for a dunk as well. Just very excited to see what he can do, how he factors into this rotation, how many minutes does Nick Nurse play him right away. So again, training camp in a couple weeks. I imagine VJ will get some pretty decent run in preseason after a successful summer league, and then once the regular season starts, we'll see if he can make an impact with his athleticism, his defense, third overall pick. Hopefully he can. The Sixers team, again, could be a lot better than people are expecting. I want you to predict it for me. Will Embiid be on the court 100%, ready to go, fully healthy for the start of training camp here in a couple of weeks? Just give me a simple yes or no. What do you think? Let me know. Let's hear from you down in the comment section. Now, coming up next, man, these Kelly Oubre rumors have been a little bit crazy, and the trade rumors have really been ramping up the last couple of weeks, and Oubre seems like he's had enough. He is responding to Sixers fans, calling out Sixers fans on social media regarding some of the people that want to see him get shipped out. We'll get to what he had to say, my reaction, here in just a second, so don't go anywhere. But before we do, this sweet Allen Iverson jersey, which a very unique design, but a very Philly design, man. A lot of these designs, on the front, back of the jersey, of course, it's a sick Allen Iverson jersey, but a lot of Philly ties as well in some of these smaller images on the jersey. Originally a pretty pricey jersey. As you get a little close up here at some of those images, you can see brotherly love right there, the Hunter for Wilt right there. Was originally $155, but this jersey is on sale now for just $69. A massive, massive discount if you go to chatsports.com/AI jersey sale. And if you go to that link, there are actually other AI jerseys as well on sale for the same price. So even if you don't love this one, I am a fan of this one, there are other cool AI jerseys you can get as well. Again, chatsports.com/AI jersey sale. Take advantage because I'm telling you right now, these items are not going to last long. All right, let's get to Kelly Oubre, right? Been a hot name in these trade rumors the past couple of weeks. We've talked about it on the show as the Sixers look to clear up some money to sign Quentin Grimes and stay under the first apron. Andre Drummond, Kelly Oubre have been two guys that apparently Philadelphia has been looking to trade for a little bit here as they look to clear up that money. Seems like Oubre hasn't really loved being in these rumors in the way some Sixers fans have been talking about him, or at least that's what he perceives at this moment. I'll get to that here in just a minute. But here is what Oubre had to say on Instagram, responding to a post that a Sixers fan page made about these rumors and Oubre potentially getting shipped off. Oubre said, "I love Philly, but the love doesn't seem to be reciprocated. What happened to this place? And for those saying I'm garbage because my three-point percentage went down, still put up numbers and I'd still cook you. I played through finger surgeries on my left hand, thumb, and pinky for 3 years, but still put my soul in this shit. That's one thing only God can take from me. Hope to see y'all soon. Godspeed." My initial reaction to these comments by Oubre, I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit shocked, right? Because, I get he's been in trade rumors. I'm not going to act like I know how it feels to be a professional athlete who puts their heart and soul into their craft every day. Now you're talked about being traded away by your team, especially a player like Oubre who has been shipped around the NBA a good bit. So I'm not going to act like I know what that's like, but I haven't really seen a lot of Sixers fans trashing on Oubre in this process. In fact, I've seen a lot of Sixers fans coming to Oubre's defense and saying how good of a player he's been for this team and saying, he has kind of been the heart and soul of this Sixers team since he has been here. And I have a lot of respect for Kelly Oubre because since he's came to Philadelphia these past 2 seasons, he's been consistent. He's been consistently available. He has not caused drama, even though he's been through some stuff, right? We all remember the infamous bike incident, and he's dealt with some injuries and all this, and of course the awful season last year. But through all of that, he's been a true professional, and he's been able to just keep his head above his shoulders. But you also have to be honest with his play. And look, defensively, he makes a lot of plays. He plays with a ton of energy, and he makes smart cuts on the offensive side of the ball. But the offensive game, especially the consistency from outside the arc, has not been there. 31% in his first year, just 29% last year, but still an overall efficient player from 2, 44 in year 1, 47 in year 2. Here's my honest take on Kelly Oubre. And again, I like him as a player, and I would like to see him stay here because the Sixers, they've been talking about trading him in a salary dump move, getting nothing in return, clearing up money to give more money to Quentin Grimes. I think that would be a big mistake because he is a good player and he does do a lot of things very well for this team. He's not the kind of guy you just trade away to clear up some money. That would be super disrespectful. And maybe from that angle, I can get why he is upset. But with that being said, I'm always going to be honest with my player evaluations and where I see every player on this roster and how they fit. And I believe that Kelly Oubre fits a little bit better as a piece that can come off the bench for a contending team, right? You know, with his inconsistency, especially shooting the 3 ball, it's tough to have him in some of those big time moments, pressure cooker moments in the playoffs when you need guys out there who can be threats from all over the floor. And if you have a guy out there who's only shooting 29% from 3, and I get what he said, dealing with those injuries on his shooting hand cannot be easy, but it's just the reality of the situation. If he is dealing with those, that it's going to affect his play, right? So I think his ideal role is coming off the bench. And so in the past, I've talked about trading Oubre to get an upgrade, not because I think he's an awful player, but, you know, I just think there's other players that would fit better in this lineup. So look, Oubre, hopefully we can figure all this out. You're a very good player. You fit Philly pretty perfectly, honestly, with the culture and the way you play. And hopefully you end up sticking around. I think a lot of Sixers fans have shown you some love. I'm sorry you feel the way you do, that the love hasn't been reciprocated, but we'll see if he does stick around. What say you? What should the Sixers do with Kelly Oubre? Do you want to trade him? Do you want to keep him? Type K for keep, T for trade. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Where do you stand on Kelly Oubre? That'll do it for today's show. Again, be sure to hit that sub button. It is 100% free. Doesn't cost you anything to stay updated with the Philadelphia 76ers. Trying to hit 24,000 subs here on the channel, so subscribe, join us, and we'll catch you next time right here on 76ers Now.